So, Abhishek, do you have any like similar visibility, recognitions that any of the companies you've worked with and you would know of what is it that they did to get that kind of visibility? You said that you worked with two companies who'd done a lot of work on TNI.
Both my companies, like I was mentioning, extremely fortunate to work with companies on two extremely opposite sides of the spectrum. The first company that I worked for was a 175-year-old company, and like the first day that you enter the company, nobody ever spoke about a DNI agenda. In a month's time, it was almost inculcated inside you during onboarding that this was a company which celebrated differences, and I'm not just talking of gender diversity for that sense. The concept of thought diversity always existed, and this is 2012, and PNG had already done so much work in terms of getting women on the board, getting women in leadership teams. Started doing focus groups on LGBT rights. In India, we did a lot of work around cross-cultural sensitization. Such a small nuanced thing, right? If you have a 5-member team and you're all, you are all North Indians, for example, and a guy from Chennai enters your team, do you stop talking in Hindi? Even things as minute as that. But at PNG, the culture was so different that you never had to put a conscious effort towards it, because it was already imbibed in you through the years of existence that PNG had. In the other company that I joined, true to all startups, everything had to be started afresh. So imagine a DNI agenda being created along with the leave policy of the company. That's what I'm talking about, right? The company is 5 years old, and the way DNI, in my experience with the company, was told me that the way DNI practices evolve is proportional to how HR practices also evolve in the company. And in Snapdeal, over the past 2 years, we did two things right. The first thing that we did was, there was a leader who was the owner of this. There was not, we didn't have HR ownership of it. We had a leader who was owning the entire agenda. Obviously, you have to find that one person who has that one spark and that who's a little more intrinsically motivated compared to the usual leadership team. But we did that. The second was a champion inside the company, and there was a lady, name was Madhumita Venkatraman, who right now leads diversity for Coca-Cola India. And essentially everything that I'm talking about is her doing. And so we did those two things right, and the past 2 years have been just about baselining, about ensuring that the right things are there for every part of your population, which would mean even minor things like having parking allocated for folks, having creches, and having the right maternity support, having the right maternity policy. Over the past year and a half, we've spent a lot of time and energy in doing that. Once we've reached there, now is the time that we're now working on more nuanced aspects of it. But the first 2 years, true to a startup, like I mentioned, most of the effort was just in terms of baselining. Because when people turn up, the average age of the population is 24. And they come with no context whatsoever of what diversity is. They don't teach diversity at IIT Delhi or IIM Ahmedabad. Right, and so they come blank slate, and you just spend a lot of effort into baselining, and then put in more effort into now. The next 2 years, 3 years, we'll see a lot of effort going into more nuanced aspects of it.
Yeah. Great. Varsha has to catch a flight, so I'm really tempted to ask so many more questions, but I think I will have to stop now.